And then the last thing that I think could cause a potential crisis at some point in the future, whether it be this coming year or not, is student debt. Student loan debt has just consumed our society. There are so many people with so much debt that is pulling them down, that's keeping them from doing all of the things they want to do in their financial lives. And I've talked so many times about how student loan debt is keeping us down. Student loan debt is not good. It is not worth what we're out trying to attain. It is not worth the hurt and the anguish on the back end of taking out these loans. It is absolutely not worth it. And we do it because we have been told that going to school is such a good investment that you'll be guaranteed a good job if you go. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. Yes, many people have gotten student loans, gotten a good job, and been able to pay the loans off and been perfectly fine. But that is the exception and not the rule. Now, that being said, I believe everybody can pay off their student debt. I think it is a possible thing. I have done it myself. But I do not think that we should be going into this type of debt if we do not have good assurance that on the other side we'll be able to take care of the financial burden that we have. I don't think we should go into debt at all, but especially not if there's no way to pay it back on the other end. I mean, currently we're looking at over $1.6 trillion in student loan debt, and it is from people of all ages, people of all ethnicities, people all around the country have large amounts of student loan debt, and it is dragging us down. And the big issue in all of this, the big issue with the student loan crisis is not just that so many people are in so much debt and it's holding them back. It's that what occurs because money is so easily attained, right? We've talked about speculative bubbles. What occurs is that when money is cheap, right? When money is easily attainable or cheap, and so in this case, it's very easily attainable within student loans, then what occurs is that asset prices increase precipitously. And what asset are we talking about here? College tuition. College tuitions have grown many-fold over the last 20, 30, 40 years to crazy proportions compared to what they were at that time. And the issue is that if everybody ends up defaulting on their student loans, then the colleges, the universities that have no skin in the game, they're just raking in the money from the federal government that is being offered to these students, then they bear no risk. They bear no risk by increasing prices. They don't bear any risk. The federal government ends up bearing that risk, and that could be a financial issue for our country. When it comes down to it, what puts us in any position for a financial crisis is a short-term mindset. What puts you, specifically yourself, in a position where you could file bankruptcy or to where you could default on a loan, or to where you may have to have something repossessed, or to where your home is foreclosed upon? What puts you in that position? What puts you in that position is you living above your means. What puts you in that position is that you are thinking that you can spend in the short term, and that will sustain you, and that you can continue to spend in the short term and just look at the immediate gratification of your spending and not think about the long-term ramifications of what you're doing and not investing in your long-term future, instead only looking at what can be done today. And I think that is also the issue of our federal government. I think that is also the issue of us as a country, is that we are so short-term. We are so today. We are so, we have to go to school today, so we'll just take these student loans out. There's no problem. We'll just take those student loans out and just keep doing it. Or these companies, debt is cheap, let's just rack it up. Or the federal government saying, we'll just give money to this and give money to that, and give money to this specific cause and this specific issue, and put money into this program and this program and that program, and that money is not being well allocated, obviously because of our federal deficit. And so our short-term mindset, our short-termism, is leading us to not being prudent with our money. And it can lead to the next financial crisis. It can lead us to a point that we do not have control of what's going on around us, and we are not the financial superpower that we are currently and that we have continued to be for a long period of time. I don't want this to occur. I want us to keep from doing this, but I want you to be aware. I want you to be aware. What are the things that can cause the next financial crisis? When will the next financial crisis occur? You don't know. I don't know. I don't worry too much about it. Why? Because I take care of my own household. Why is it so important to follow my principles? Why is it so important to be out of debt, save money? Because when there is a financial crisis, what's the issue? The issue is debt and individuals who don't have enough savings. We're in the coronavirus crisis, the coronavirus pandemic. People lose their job. What's their biggest issue? I don't have any money and I have to service this debt. That's the problem. The problem is if you get in a period of crisis and you have no money in the bank and you have debt, then you have a problem. And so that's why following my plan, getting to this place of financial freedom is so important, so that when this next huge crisis does occur, and eventually it will occur, that you can be prepared and that you can be in a good financial place where you can go, hey, I can help others in this place. I don't have to struggle. I don't have to be in a bad financial position just because everybody else is. And so that's what I hope for you. I hope that you put yourself in a good personal financial position. That way, when the things that we can't control, that the federal government chooses to do, end up eroding our financial system, then you can hopefully be in the best position possible.